Now, so today this is the very last masterclass that I'm doing with you. So there's going to be a lot of going back and forth between the different lessons, 11 masterclasses that I've already given. We will be using different scenarios, okay, from different masterclasses to somehow help you understand the language that we are teaching and learning today. So today's topic is something I absolutely love, and I always emphasize this to every single student I've ever had the pleasure of teaching. Collocations. It's one of the most important things in English. If you want to learn vocabulary successfully, effectively, you have to be learning vocabulary in collocation. Hi, Lina. Hi. You can't just learn words in isolation. It has to be a chunk. Okay, so today's topic is collocations, right? So a collocation is a group of words, so words that go together and words that are habitually juxtaposed. So now we have a new word. Let me just my magic pen. So we have this new word, juxtaposed, right? Not sure if you've ever heard this word before, but just to, again, feed you with some vocabulary, okay? Look at this. Can you see this picture, okay? Snoopy Dog and Donald Trump. I mean, these people on the same wall. Can you imagine two people who may be more different than these two? And also look at this, okay? Look at the hands and the newborn baby, right? So what we have here is a huge and massive contrast, right? So we have Donald Trump juxtaposed with Snoopy Dog, and we have an old woman juxtaposed with a newborn baby. So a juxtaposition is essentially putting two things together for contrast. Okay, so it's a very nice word, and collocations is effectively this. So putting two words together for contrast, not always, but very often. So now we are going to talk about collocations, but a particular kind of collocations, and it's binomial pairs. Now, binomial pairs are pairs of words, two words typically, sometimes three, sometimes, well, two, because it's two binomials, two words connected with a conjunction, typically and or, but not necessarily. It could be by or for. And just to get you started, okay, I want you to put your answers in the chat. So very easy ones. Boys and, come on guys, okay, that's it. Knife and knife and, that's it. Okay, bride and, come on, it's groom, that's it. Black and white, rock and roll, right? Good. Sooner or later, step by step, more or less, right? And the last one, tit for, I'll give you 20 points if you can get this one. Right, nobody knows. Okay, tit for tat. Tit for tat is a revenge. So if you do something nasty to me, I'm going to do something nasty to you, and it's a tit for tat, right? So all these are binomial pairs, but these are very, very easy ones. Now, today we are going to focus on binomial pairs, which are much more difficult. Many of them you may have not even heard of. So now the reason why I've decided to cover binomial pairs is because it's one of those areas of the English lexis that testify to your fluency. So if you can't use them fluently and comfortably, it means you are a fluent English speaker. So, and I'm not just talking about recognition and understanding of those. I'm talking about active usage. If you can use them and you feel comfortable using them, you are a fluent speaker. And the same goes for what we have already done previously, okay, in my masterclasses, okay. The same goes for the use of understatement, and in particular, quite and rather. The same goes for the use of future forms, but other than going to and will, okay, so future continuous. And the same goes for the use of colloquial expressions and phrasal verbs, of which we had but a few. To give you another colloquial expression a couple of weeks ago, such as serves you right, now you tell me. So all this amounts to how fluent you are in English. So if you are comfortable with understatement, if you're comfortable with future continuous, if you're comfortable, not countable, with binomial pairs, it means you are on your way to fluency. So without further ado, okay, let's look at the first slide. Okay, the first slide, as always, is a little task for you, but I don't want it to take more than 1 minute. I'm going to show you a list of binomials, okay, but only the first part. So like previously, black and, yeah, knife and. So what I want you to do is take 20 seconds, 30 seconds to look at this list and put in the chat, show me that you can think of the second part of one of these binomials. One. If you can give me one, I'll be very happy. Okay, ready, steady, go. So what's missing? Happened, spikened, cheapened, quickened. So give me one. Which one do you know? Null and void. Very good, Natalia. Half and half. Not really, but close, Ashik. Above and beyond, Anastasia. Lovely. Cheap and expensive. This is, it could be, but it's not really a binomial. Hit and run, Ashik. Oh, that's good. Very good. But it's not what I meant here, but it's a good one. Very good. Now, let's have a look at another list and do the same. So 20 seconds. Give me the binomials that you know already. Come on. No? No ideas? Rough and ready. Good, Natalia. Very good. That's it. This is tough and easy. Lina, you are thinking in opposites here. It's not quite, I mean, binomials are often a combination of opposites. So we are talking about juxtaposing words. Save life, not really. Okay, good. I'm very happy. Now, good answers, very creative answers as well. So I'm very, very happy now. Just to let you know, all these binomials we are going to cover today. Some of them we'll look at in detail, some we'll just touch on, but remember that you can always revisit and rewatch all the sessions. So if we go too fast and if something is lost on you, you can always go back and watch this session or particular bits and pieces of you know the session later. Okay, so don't panic if I go too fast. We have a lot to do. Now, the first, all these binomials will be introduced to you through 5 scenarios, and all of them are going back to the previous masterclasses. So the first scenario is a case of a bad worker, Jack. And I don't know if you remember Jack. We talked about Jack when we had a session on colloquial expressions. So Jack, I don't know if you remember, Jack is a very lazy worker, a very lazy employee, and he got the sack. And then I don't know if you remember, he he was full of self-pity, okay? So he came to you and he was crying and wanted you to also sympathize with him. Instead, you said, serves you right. So this is just to refresh your memory. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you more about Jack and how he lost his job. And your task is to tell me which of these expressions I can use in each and every sentence that I'm going to make now. So Jack, as I have already explained, is a very, very bad worker, okay? He was always looking for ways to get his work done. Cut it quick and dirty, lovely Anastasia. So he was always looking for quick and dirty ways to get his work done. Quick and dirty means sloppy, cutting corners, taking shortcuts. So quick and dirty ways to get his work done. Now, he was always doing whatever it takes to make his job pleasant and not demanding. What do you think? Which one? He was always doing whatever it takes, quick and easy, lovely. So he was always doing whatever it takes to make his job quick and easy, right? Pleasant. And his colleagues were absolutely fed up with this. So which one would you use here? That's it. Okay, this is a simple one. Sick and tired of his constant complaints. What do you think now? Which one do we use to talk about, to express the idea of complaining a lot? And very often complaining without any intention of doing anything. Anybody? Okay, I'll help you. That's it, Anastasia, huffing and puffing. So when you huff and puff, it's when you, for example, walk up the stairs and then you are, so this is huffing and puffing, but figuratively, okay, it means to complain a lot. So his colleagues were just sick and tired of his huffing and puffing. Is it informal? Anastasia, it's informal. It's not formal, it's informal, because that's the kind of language that we use when we communicate kind of in daily conversations. And English is just packed with it, okay? Binomials, yeah, this is a huge part of the English language. There are hundreds of them, and we are just going to do a drop in the ocean today. Now, he was always making a lot of fuss and overreacting about how hard he had to work. What do you think? So always making a song and a dance about how hard he had to work. So he was always huffing and puffing just about everything, making a song and dance about how hard the company was making him work. Now, at some point, his boss gave him a very, very important task to complete. Now, unfortunately, he took the same approach. So let's just put the same quick and dirty approach, because, you know, that's his mentality. So he didn't apply himself, really. So it was a disaster, as predictable. Now, his job was at risk, right? So he was determined to keep the job to the point where, you know, he started making promises. He was buying gifts by hook and by crook. So when you want to do something and you do it by hook or by crook, you do it legally or illegally. You take whatever it takes to get it. Okay, so it's not exactly the right mentality, but there are many people who do that, politicians very often, right? So you do it by hook or by crook. Now, unfortunately, his boss was only willing to consider reality, not promises, so facts and figures. And Jack was asked to leave there and then, meaning on the spot, no delay, no notice, just leave. That's what the boss said to him. So let's just do a quick revision. When we say, okay, when you show that you are angry, but you have no intention to actually act on it, you just want to talk about it and complain, which expression is it? Which one tells you that's it? So huffing and puffing. So what happens is you huff and puff about things, but you never do anything. How about immediately, which is, yeah, so immediately means there and then. So you could do something there and then. You could act there and then, or you may want something to be done there and then with no delay. Oh, how about this? When you do something, when it's slapdash and it's done quickly, quick and dirty, very good. So quick and dirty. So a quick and dirty job, a quick and dirty solution, or a quick and dirty approach, okay? Very sloppy, okay? Not careful. So if you are a teacher, for example, you get a piece of writing from your student and you can see that it was just done off the cuff, you know it's a quick and dirty. You know that the student didn't apply themselves. And by whatever means, by hook or by crook. And the last one is when you make a lot of fuss about something, you complain, often excessively, right? So now we already have, how many of them? 5 here, and a few more here. Now, let's just have a look at some more clarification in case you may not be, oh, I just gave you this. Okay, do you remember our cheapskate? The bloke that we met last week, that's it. Not exactly, well, greedy, yes, but it's, yeah, greedy, yes, Anastasia. Someone who just doesn't want to pay more than they have to, right? They always choose the cheapest option. So this time, the cheapskate in question had a leak on the boiler. So what he did, obviously, if you want to, you need to book an engineer, right, to do the job. Now, booking an engineer in England is a very costly thing, okay? So you may have to pay an arm and a leg, or a leg and an arm. Which one is it? This is just a revision. So how much, and a leg, an arm and a leg, that's it. So you may have to pay through the nose. You may have to fork out a lot of money, right? Now he, you know, he doesn't want to do it. So what does he do? He books a cowboy plumber. Now, I don't know about your countries, but in England, okay, we often refer to cowboy plumbers, cowboy builders, cowboy handymen. These are the people who will say, I'll do the job, but they have no qualification, no experience, okay? So, but they are cheap, okay? So a cheapskate will obviously book a cowboy plumber. So the cowboy plumber was booked, and 2 weeks later, this is what happens, okay? Another leak. Why? Because the cheapskate paid for a cheap and dirty. So it was a cheap and dirty. If you book a cowboy plumber, that's what you should expect, okay? So cheap and dirty is a really bad, careless, sloppy job that you do. Now, let's look at another situation. I don't know if you remember this situation, okay? So we have my husband, remember, complaining about this, because that's one of my habits. I never put the lid back on the toothpaste, and he always complains. So he always goes, could you make sure you put the lid back, will you, blah, blah, blah. I wish you wouldn't do that. I wish you would put it back, right? Blah, blah. Now, if you ask me, okay, I mean, why would he even make such a song and dance about it? Think about it. It is such a petty thing, right? So if you ask me, it's just overreacting, okay? He always makes such a song and dance about it, but this is such a tiny little petty thing. And the last situation here is we have the lasagna, which seemingly is the most difficult dish to cook. That's what all my Italian students say. So if you don't want to do that, right, then go for curry. quick and easy, right? Quick and easy. So now the thing that I want you to also be mindful of is the pronunciation of binomials. So do we say cheap and dirty, or do we say cheap and dirty? So what happens is there's no end, okay? It's connected speech. So what you say is cheap and dirty, song and dance, and quick and easy. So if you can be saying this to yourself now, you can kind of practice this. Always when you use binomials, you have to make sure that the end is not pronounced. We just don't pronounce it, okay? So it's black and white, quick and easy, and that's why we have this rock and roll spelling very often, right? Because end is not pronounced. Very good, let's move on. Now we have a case of a teenager. We have a case of Maddie. Do you remember Maddie? Do you remember this picture? You may remember it from, yeah, Ashik is saying, right. So my niece, okay, my flesh and, you probably know, blood, or to use the very English expression, my kith and kin, which is exactly the same, my flesh and blood, my pride and joy. So flesh and blood, kith and kin, pride and joy. Now, my niece, you probably know about it, but she has dreams. She has big dreams, like real big. But then again, you know, when you think about it, okay, think about it. By which one do you think it's going to be? By it means not Anastasia, try again, in general. Okay, this is a common one. This is often used when you watch television, for example. Okay, Sky News, like I do. They are by and large. Very good. Very common one. So when you think about it, I mean, my niece is just a teenager, right? So by and large, teens always have big dreams in general, on the whole. So we shouldn't be stopping her from having those dreams. But mind you, her dreams are big. So what she dreams of, okay, is LA and California and rubbing shoulders with celebrities and such like. So each and every day, very good. So each and every day, she will imagine herself strolling in LA without exceptions. Now, but then again, everybody has dreams, right? And we've just established that by and large, teens have big dreams. They always do. It's a rule. So after all, big dreams are part and this is another very good, that's a good one. Part and parcel of being a teenager. It comes as a package. So when you have a teenager, you have big dreams that they have. It's a part and parcel of being a teenager. So it's an essential feature. Now, my niece and I, this is the relationship we have, okay? Oftentimes, we just can't see eye to eye. So I always say to her that, unfortunately, making it in LA can be a bit of a hit and miss, lovely. Hit and miss means that it can go both ways. It's unpredictable, in particular, if it's not planned. So it could be a success, could be a failure. So making it in LA can't be a hit and miss. So it may also be a sink or, I'm sure you know this, or swim situation. So a sink or swim situation is where nobody is going to help you. It's only your own efforts, right? So I'm just trying to verbalize it to her loud and clear. I just want to make sure I'm understood, and I want to make sure she understands, right? So this is why we don't often see eye to eye, because I understand dreams are part and parcel of being a teenager, and I understand that's what she wants. But it could be a hit and miss, and it could be a sink or swim situation. So I have to say it loud and clear so she's prepared. Now, this is why very often, okay, what happens is that's it. We go back and forth arguing about her big plans. So what happens is she says one thing, I say one thing, and then she again says something, back and forth, but it's inconsequential. We can't agree, no results, no solutions, okay? We just go back and forth arguing about her plans. But I always want to just say that first and foremost, Ashik, you're very good today. She needs to get it all well planned. It can't just be a hit and miss, scenario. She needs to get it planned, and she needs to understand the ins and outs of the American reality. So it's the ins and outs, right? Now, just to show you something very, very interesting, these are stills from movies just for you. So you see, I know the ins and outs of your profession. I know the job. I know it very well. Okay. I'm first and foremost a journalist, someone says, just like me. I'm first and foremost a teacher. Okay. That's it. Even before I'm a wife, I'm a teacher. So we've already had 2 scenarios. Don't worry, there is going to be tests, okay? I'll have 3 or 4 tests for you. So we are going to use all of them in a second. And you can always rewatch it, remember. Now, the next one is, I couldn't stop myself, okay? Yes, Natalia, okay, it was good to have you here. Now, it's a case of a failed politician. And as you know, okay, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump. So if we have any fans here with us, please don't take offense, because I like to make fun of this man. So we have, yeah, funny. We know that, okay, let's look at this. Donald Trump is first and foremost, okay, he's someone who always wants to be the front end, yeah, Eduardo, yeah, we all, good. It means that I'm not kind of putting my foot in it by using his image. Very good, front and center. Now, so he wants to be the front and center of everything, of the political scene, of every single meeting, every single rally, but also every single conversation. He just wants to be the person that people talk about, the front and center of everything. And before his first election, we all know that he fought tooth and nail. That's it. Not to mention by hook or by crook, because that's his mentality, right? Now, so he knows how to win people. Very good. By wining and dining them. So when you wine and dine people in high places, when you wine and dine somebody, you entertain this person. It doesn't mean that you have to drink wine, okay? It's just an expression to say that you pay for the food, you take someone out, you eat out, everything is covered, okay? You just make sure the person is entertained. So that's what he knows how to do, how to wine and dine people in high places, like this woman who's saying, again from a film, how is it when wining and dining state senators not campaigning? So wining and dining. Now, he hardly ever plays fair and square. That's it. So fair and square, meaning he's not fair. Now, he lost his second election, plain and simple. That's it. No discussion here. It's just plain and simple. He lost. And he was going back and forth with the idea that the election was rigged. But we all know that his opponent won fair and square, and his presidency came to an end, and it was made null and void, no longer binding. Very good. Now we have two more images. So a prenup is null and void, and someone has just won fair and square. Yeah. So these are very, very, very common. And as I said, okay, and I'm going to repeat it again, the fact that you understand them is good, but the fluency is in using them. So now, let's look at some more examples. Okay, I'm speaking so much, I just need some water, guys. Okay, so you can, okay, this is London, okay, and this could happen in London, winter and snow like that. But okay, what do you think is missing here? Winters are mild. Anybody? Okay, by and large. So in general, however, by and large, winters are mild, right? How about this guy? What do you think? What binomial can we use here? The moment a goal was declared null and void. Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know. I know nothing about football. I just saw this image and I thought that would be a great image to illustrate this. So the goal was declared null and void. So, right, dismissed. So we have by and large, and we have, oh, just gave you the answer. Okay, so planning a summer in London. Now, this could be a hit and miss, as you know, because it's just so unpredictable, the weather. It's just like shopping online. It's a hit and miss, right? You never know what is going to land on your doorstep. I mean, you buy one thing and another thing may arrive. Okay, now let's move on. Sorry, I'm just very, very mindful about the time. A case of a failed relationship. Now we have Peter and Amy. So this was one of our first masterclasses. And those who attend all our masterclasses, they should be very, very familiar with this. Now, so we have all these, and I want you to tell me which one goes or matches which binomial. So when Peter met Amy, as you know, I didn't take to Amy at all. As you know, I didn't like her at all. And I made it very clear to Peter. I actually said this to him, short and I said it to him short and what do you think? And it means very briefly, but it was very to the point, okay? And that's what we say in English. I said this to him short and sweet, okay, that Amy was not a girl for him. Now, I also taught him that with Amy, okay, the whole relationship is a touch and, that's a lovely one, touch and used a lot, touch and go. And it's a touch and go, so very unpredictable. It may go this way, may go another way, not stable. It's a very, very touch and go relationship, okay? So Amy may just walk out on you in, you know, in a week. That's what I said to Peter, okay? Short and sweet, I said touch and go. Now, with Amy, we didn't talk a lot, okay? We talked about this and that. We never really had a serious conversation. We just talked about this and that, but never a deep conversation. And I said to Peter that Amy was not someone who he could go, or anybody? Very good, through thick and thin. Very good, through thick and thin, and it means good times and bad times. Yeah. So then Peter didn't listen to me, as you know. They got together, okay, and their relationship, as every single relationship, was full of ups and downs. But as we know, it's part and parcel. Oh, we don't have a parcel here. I must have missed. So part and parcel of every single relationship, ups and downs, right? So even if they had arguments, if they had, you know, if they were fighting, they always kissed, and that's not make up. So you kiss and make up, and it means you're friends again. So people argue, but then they kiss and make up, right? This is often used, it's a common one. Now, I have to say that Peter was also going above and beyond to make Amy happy. So he was doing more than was expected of him. He really wanted the relationship to last. So he was really going above and beyond. So, I mean, the relationship was working for some time, okay? But then you know the story, Amy left. When she left, she took everything. She took the house, she took the money, okay? She left Peter, oh, sorry. She left Peter high and anybody, because that's another good one. High and dry, very good. So she left him in a very, very difficult position, high and dry. He couldn't sleep. He got depressed. He couldn't sleep. He, you know, he was taking antidepressants and sleeping pills because he was just tossing and turning in bed, couldn't sleep. Okay. Now I was encouraging Peter to tell everybody about his relationship with Amy, to just tell it like it was, you know, to tell all their mutual friends about how nasty Amy was, etc., etc. But Peter refused to kiss and tell. When you kiss and tell, when you think of Prince Harry, that's the best example of kiss and tell. So when you get close with people and then you reveal very, very personal details about a relationship, it's a kiss and tell. So he refused to kiss and tell. He refused to comment about Amy. And as you can imagine, okay, eventually he was down and out, depressed, no money, no work, in a really, really bad state. But I'm very, very happy to say that now he is alive and kicking. Okay, sorry. Oh, sorry. Alive and kicking. And he puts all this down to his experience, and he says, look, you just live and learn. That's it. I'm not going to make the same mistake again. We've lost this somewhere. Okay, so this was supposed to be parcel. My bad. Now, very, very quickly, what I want you to do is, first of all, look at this, okay? You know The Simpsons, okay? If it's your shortcut, I'll be high and dry. So what Lisa is saying, if I ever listen to you, I'll be in a very difficult situation at some point. And then we have the Big Lebowski, and ups and downs, right? Now, let's do very quickly, let's just do this, okay? In 2 minutes, I'll help you. So when something is brief and to the point, what do we say? It's short and sweet, right? To be friendly again, anybody? Very good. So kiss and make up. When something is an essential feature or an integral part of something else, we had it with Maddie earlier. It's a part and parcel, right? Part and parcel of something. Good. Not able to sleep and moving from one side of the bed to another. We talk about tossing and turning. Now, real details about a relationship. Anybody? Kiss and tell, that's it. Maybe we can do it the other way around because it's easier for you just to provide letters. So touch and go, which one is touch and go? Anybody? Age. No, touch and go is unpredictability. Remember I said that the relationship was a bit of a touch and go, okay? So could go one way or another, right? That's it. So very uncertain. When something is touch and go, it's very, very uncertain, okay? If you have a car that often breaks down, it's a touch and go. So one day it may work, another day it may not. Talking about this and that. That will be J, right? So talking about something that is unimportant, right? Now, through thick and thin, through good times and bad times, yeah, you could say, and hard times. Ups and downs. This is very similar as well, right? So good times and bad times, you could say. How about above and beyond then? Age, that's it. So, no, not age. Remember, Peter was going above and beyond to make Amy happy. That, no. Okay, above and beyond means doing more than is required of you. So if you go above and beyond to do something, it means that you don't even have to do it, okay? You do it because you want to make someone happy. Now, leave someone high and dry. Think of Lisa. Or maybe, okay, again, which one is busy and active? Alive and kicking, right? Now, bad experience in life is live and learn. So you have to acknowledge it like Peter and then just move on. No opportunities and no hope is down and out. Okay, Peter was completely down and out. And in a very difficult situation, just like Lisa, is high and dry, right? So I guess we have all of them now. Okay, do you remember Jacinta? My friend who travels a lot. That's it. Anastasia is safe. So Jacinta, as you should remember, Jacinta and I are just like chalk and cheese. That's it. Very, very different. Now, she is a born and I'll help you. That's a good one. Yes, born and bred Londoner. She was born in London. She's a born and bred Londoner, but at some point she's just she grew tired of the hustle and bustle of a big city. So that's why she decided to travel a lot, and she's always out and about, right? So you know that she's always out and about. Now she's traveled far and wide. She's been almost everywhere. And unfortunately, you know, when you live this life, it's not all fun and games. Okay, we often use this with it's not all fun and games. So very often she is having to live and sleep in rough and ready, very good, rough and ready accommodation with a lot of wear and tear. So very, very old, right, and dilapidated. Now, so I always make sure, because I look after her flat, I always make sure that when she comes back, her flat is spick and span, sparkling, clean, very, very clean. It's always spick and span, so she can actually enjoy it. And I'm always happy when she comes back safe and sound. Because okay, and then all I want to do is just wine and dine her. As you can imagine, I want to take her out, I want to pay for the food, I want to entertain her, and she always says no, but my response is no ifs and buts, you're doing it. That's it, you're doing it. No ifs, no buts, no excuses. So when you look at these images, oh, sorry, what comes to mind? This one is wine and dine, right? How about this one? Remember what I said about her flat, that I always try to keep it very, very clean. So when she comes back, she can relax, spick and span. And then there's K missing, sorry. And then how about a big city? Very good. Yeah, so we say spick and span. Yes, just like this. Okay, sorry, there's K missing. I'll just add it. And this, how about this one? Okay, very good. Hustle and bustle, we say, of a big city. How about this one? What comes to mind? Okay, chalk and cheese. And how about this? Okay, her lifestyle is not all fun and games, right? And then we have her accommodation. I mean, look at this. This is where she sometimes has to sleep, and this is what we call rough and ready. Okay, so it's very basic. It's but it's okay, right? Okay-ish, rough and ready, with a lot of wear and tear. You see, this is really old, wear and tear. So that's my friend Jacinta. Now, let's do some quizzes, okay? Because all these expressions now, we've had a lot. Now, remember, I don't expect you, nobody will expect you to remember all of them. The reason why we are doing this lesson is because, again, I want to raise awareness, sensitize you to this, show you how often these are used and how easily they can be used, but it's impossible to learn all of them at one sitting. So you kind of need to choose a couple of them first. And start using them, because it's all about using them. So we have these, and I want you to tell me which, just put the letter A, B, C, or D, which ones go where. So number one is stop all the fun and games and get down to work, will you? Very good, Anastasia. Number two, my niece is hiding something. When asked where she was, she said she was out and about, and out and about means, okay, so the first one is no excuses, means just doing errands. Okay, so when you don't want to be specific, you don't want to tell people where you go, you just say out and about. And when she was asked about what she was doing, she said, oh, you know, this and that, right? Again, you don't want to be specific. We often use it when we don't want to give any more details. So this and that, just random things. Now, I only have a few things to say, and I'm going to keep it, that's it, short and sweet. Okay, so I'm not going to waste your time. I'll keep it short and sweet. That's it, say it. Now, she said she's going to pass the test. Whatever it takes to pass, she'll do it. How is she going to pass the test? She's so determined. That's it. By hook or by crook. I seem out of shape recently. Every time I go up the stairs, that's it. I huff and puff. That's it. And you know, the new Top Gun movie, I actually watched it. And to be honest, I don't understand why they make such a such a song and dance about it. Why do they talk about it so much? You know, this is overreacting, like my husband about the toothpaste. So I don't really understand, because the film is boring. I don't understand why they make such a song and dance about it. So short and relevant is, where was it? Short and sweet. And going to LA is, that's it. It's part and parcel of actually fulfilling the dream. So if this doesn't happen, okay, the dreams will not be fulfilled. And the last one, can you please do it now? No ifs, no buts, no ifs and buts, right? Do it now. So now we very often, this is just to show you, I have more quizzes for you, so hold on, but I want to show you something interesting. We often use expressions like this when we don't want to be very specific. So you could say that you are out and about, or you could say that, you know, oh, where did you go? Oh, here and there, right? Or what did you do? Oh, this and that. So you just don't want to give detailed answers. Now, odds and ends, bits and pieces, and bits and bobs, that's another thing that we use a lot. Like bits and bobs is very, very, it's like bits and pieces, but in England, okay, bits and bobs we use a lot. And it's just random things like this. When I do the washing, I always have to make sure that I take out all the bits and bobs from my husband's, you know, trousers and from the pockets, because I don't want to ruin the washing machine. So all the bits and bobs, odds and ends, you know, you could actually ask me, why do you have to go to work today? It's a day off. Oh, I just want to do, you know, some odds and ends to some, or I have some odds and ends to finish. So you are just expressing this idea of something that's not specific, okay? And very good. And now let's look at another quiz. I hear you. No need to say it again and again. Said is saying don't understand. Said, you mean the idea of this and that, here and there, bits and pieces, bits and bobs. It means little things. Like if you look at this picture, Said, okay. So what do you see here? What do you see? Can you define these objects? No, because it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's all together, just bits and bobs, like random things. I'm sure there are drawers in your house where you just put everything, and then when you open it, you can't find anything because it's full of bits and bobs, bits and pieces, okay? And odds and ends, right? So we talk about odds and ends, bits and pieces, bits and bobs, okay? Random things just banged up together, okay? And we use a lot of this, and it's just not being specific again. So hold on. If you leave someone, you put them in a very difficult situation. What's the binomial here? Remember Lisa and The Simpsons? If you leave someone, you put them in a very difficult situation. Anybody? Okay, 1, 2, 3. High and dry. So if you leave somebody high and dry, remember Amy, she left Peter high and dry, no money, no house, no car. She took everything, right? So you leave somebody high and dry, okay, in a very difficult situation. If you don't keep your end of the promise, agreement is null and void, right? Now, if you are feeling, come to a party with me, this will cheer you up. Remember Peter when he was depressed? So he was feeling down and out. So if you are feeling down and out, you are just depressed. You are, very often you have no opportunities to do something, you're down and out. Now I hear you loud and clear, okay? This is a common response when you have an argument with someone as well. So people could be like, imagine my niece talking to her mother, and the mother you know, constantly nags. And then my niece could just say, look, I hear you loud and clear. Okay, enough. You don't have to be saying anything else. Note it. So next one, if you know the of a job, you understand it perfectly. If you know the bits and bobs, yeah, you could say that. I was actually thinking ins and outs. So when you know the ins and outs of something, it's like inside out. You know it inside out. So you know the ins and outs. So it comes from knowing it inside out, like the back of your hand. You know it very well. You know the ins and outs of I know the ins and outs of teaching after 30 years of teaching, right? So if you go with an idea of doing something, it's inconsequential. So if you go back and forth, if you go back and forth with something, you never resolve this. So it's just going like my niece and I, okay, back and forth with arguments, but no solution. If you agree with someone, you agree in general, but there may be details that you don't agree with, but in general, you agree. So you could say, I agree with you by and large. So in general, okay, by and large, I agree with you, but there are certain details that I differ about. And if you go to make someone happy, you do more than is expected from you. Remember Peter, he was doing more than he should have to be good. So you go above and beyond. Very good. Now, the thing about these, Lina, is that you can't change the order. So with these expressions, they are fixed. So you can't say white and black. It just wouldn't make sense. And you can't say beyond and above. It's above and beyond. And that's how it has to be remembered. Very good. And before we finish, just a quick one. When you look at this picture, what comes to mind? Look at this. Huffing and puffing. Good. It's a train. Okay. But it's kind of, you know, it shows huffing and puffing like people. Okay. So we often say that a steam train is huffing and puffing because of that, right? How about this? What comes to mind when you see this? Which binomial? Think of my friend Jacinta and think of the hotels, the accommodation. Rough and ready, but with a lot of wear and tear. Right? So this is a lot of wear and tear. This is an old shoes. Look at it. It's worn, right? It has been worn a lot. There's a lot of wear and tear. And how about this one? Oh, this Said, this one is for you. So what do we have here? Bits and bobs, very good. Or you could say odds and ends, that's it. So bits and bobs and odds and ends, that's exactly what it is. Random things put together, okay? You can't even name them. And the very last one, everybody remembers this. So it's the attack on the Capitol. So what comes to mind here is by hook or by crook. So this is how he wanted to get power, right? And go back to office by hook or by crook. Now, it was a lot today, but as I said, I did it intentionally. I wouldn't really do it normally, but I know you can watch and re-watch this whenever you want. So you can always go back and watch it again. 2 more minutes, okay, just to give you this mental gymnastics, okay, a little bit of exercise for your brain, okay. It's a competition. Just call out the answers and put them in the chat. So huff and puff, that's it. Spick and span. Chip and anybody? Dirty. Quick and easy. a song and oh, it was not supposed to be an arm. I don't know what an arm is doing here. So a song and anybody? A song and a dance, right? Above and beyond, null and void, wine and dine, safe and sound. Okay, kith and it's the same as flesh and blood, but kith and kin, next of kin, right? Hit, you can say hit and run, but hit and miss, that's it. By, I really want you to remember this one with by and large. It's a good one and it's very, very common. First and foremost, ins and outs, right? Inside out. Front and remember Donald Trump? Front and he wants to be the front and center. N is missing. You see? Part and oops, parcel. Each and every. Back and forth. Plain and that's a good one as well. Plain and simple and this and that, right? This and that. Now, if you want to go through this, okay, I guess I have to do that because it's not going to be on the video. So we have to do it very, very quickly. So fair and square, plain and simple, or we had it already. Sink or swim, tooth and nail, kiss and tell, high and dry, short and sweet, touch and go, toss and turn, down and out, Peter, live and learn, ifs and buts, chalk and cheese, pride and joy, rough and ready, far and wide, there and, let me just move this, there and then, bits and bops, odds and ends here and there. So now if you want to watch it again, then you have all these ready.